What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are really taking the industry by storm. And today we have a graphic designer, music producer, uh, do-it-yourself print shop T-shirt, everything apparel maker, all-around Renaissance man today, Josh Zen. Thank you for coming in and kicking with me today, my brother. Appreciate you for doing this, my man.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for reaching out.
Of course, of course. And like as I said to in the introduction, you do a multitude of different things, right? Like you're a multifaceted artist. Is there a specific point in time and where there was one that kind of led to the other ones, or were you just always kind of tinkering with different facets and different mediums?
So, for me, it was always music at first. Like growing up, like my parents, I grew up in like a church, going to church.
Right,
I was
right,
always
right.
like that little kid, like just like staring at the musicians. Then I picked up just learning how to play the drums through church, and then like in high school, I actually went to like a arts high school,
Okay, okay.
and they had like a band class there where I was able to basically get an art credit and play the drums, do something what I love. And one thing that I really appreciated about that teacher really was that he knew that I didn't know how to read music.
Really? Okay.
He knew that I was like by the
You could
ear,
hear,
you
right,
know.
right.
So he would play me songs that we were working on in class, and I would just pick it up, and then that kind of opened up like a way of, for me, I was listening to multiple genres, but being a drummer, like I was listening to like a lot of like indie music, rock and stuff, and
Right, 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 right.
like my for me it was like it started off being like in bands with like people that I knew and grew up with. And then I picked up like screen printing around that time and graphic design. So then I started designing like the merch for my band.
Ah, right, right, right. The idea of
Then
like
like,
you got to do it everything yourself if you really
yeah,
want to like pop out and get your name
exactly.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, so then it was like I fell in love with the process of not only graphic design, but then screen printing
Hmm.
and just like the whole elements of working with garments, working with paper, and just creating like a design language graphically that works well with screen printing and understanding both how they could work simultaneously. And then I started my brand called Alphabets for my love for typography and streetwear. I kind of wanted to, at the time and now, just create a brand that always has like a story and a message, but
Right,
it's just
right.
like typography based graphics that still feel like streetwear and um just like go with the times and the future, you know. And also
And
I'm big, sorry to cut you off. I'm
no,
big
no.
on like sustainability too. Like
Right, right, right.
I like to basically I have people that source vintage dead stock garments for me, and then I go and repurpose them so that it's like I'm also not contributing to the waste that's
Right, exactly.
constantly going on in fashion. That's like something in the later on in my career where if one day I could somehow have like a design team that's what we our focus is on, like maybe doing things instead of like using dyes that get put into the stream and the ocean, maybe using some type of print or fabric to make paints or something that still makes it look like a dye,
Right, exactly.
still also good for the environment. So these are like things that I stand for as like a designer. But as a producer, I'm also like working on electronic music and trying to figure out how to kind of combine both worlds together.
And I was gonna say, like, in creating the music to get to that sphere of what you're doing, your background, right? Hispanic background does, and obviously coming from the church as well, like those two, there's the cultural influence also come into the electronic now ethos brand that you're creating with the producer tag that you have now, where a lot of drums, a lot of beats, or is there like kind of a learning curve coming from the acoustic, being with your hands, being with a lot of live instruments to now a lot of things are digital, right? On the soundboard and everything else. Like, what is the experience like in kind of bridging the two experiences to now being an electronic producer?
Yes, for me, like it took a while for me to make that transition of becoming a drummer and like understanding how to like just make beats. And it was really understanding what the drum machine was. Where I
Right, right.
realized after a while, I realized I didn't really need a band if I had a drum machine and a
Hmm.
synthesizer. So then I started accumulating like music equipment, like the MPCs, certain synthesizers, because as a drummer, I don't really see the patterns by clicking it in. I more feel it by like tapping it. So
Doing it, right, right,
I knew
right.
I wanted to make music that way, where it's me physically putting in.
Mm, mm.
Sorry, I'm a little sick.
No, it's
Me
all good.
putting in the notes, just and then sorry, and then like just transferring all that through an audio interface into my DAW and stuff like that. And it's
Right,
been
right,
still like a learning curve, like especially with just like transferring all of the patterns into the computer basically. Um because pretty much the way I work on music is I can pretty much have a song from start to finish made in the box, like
right, right,
in the machine, and then I'm pretty much just like then separating the channels and stuff, engineering it, and then putting it all into Ableton, and just I've been learning how to use Ableton more recently. But as like a like as a drummer and like being Dominican, like I just always like to incorporate those just Latin like percussions and
right, right,
effects
right.
into like the electronic fields, into like the tribal house vibes and
Right. I mean, I've been to Miami. I've listened to a lot of that Latin EDM, a lot of that house music you guys got down in the islands. It's up there. You know, the energy is up there.
definitely there's a lot of cool cats in Miami doing some dope stuff. Like one of my favorites is INVT. They're like I believe they're from Miami, but they're like two like South American dudes, and they like produce and like do live hardware sets, which is that's
Right,
something
right,
that I
right,
do, and also DJ. So and they also make clothes, so it's just like it's dope to see like Spanish people just on their shit and just like-minded people just doing their thing. But yeah, I rock
right,
with those
right.
beats.
Yeah, I would say like in as you are as well, like kind of balancing the music that you're working on, and then as well as like Alphabet Studios, right? So one, the name, like how did you come up with that name, and then wanted to actively create? You said that as a way to really speak to this passion you have for graphic design and screen printing, but like now in running the business past the dream phase, how is it like kind of juggling the two?
Um, for
Or how do they
me,
kind of lend each
yeah.
other, and give each other support?
Yeah, like for me right now, like the reality of the music side, like I don't play too many gigs, so I try to focus more on producing because I want to still kind of solidify myself as a producer, also
Right, right,
as a designer, being that I've been designing for like more than 5 years, and people know me for like my design and alphabets, and the name really came back to like what I said, just like typography. Like I wanted
right,
to come up with something that that just was in that world of typography, and that really came from just like always loving like just graffiti and fonts and certain things like that. And I just came up with the name alphabets. But in the brand itself, I have like a lot of different phrases that I use, which is one of them is like seek a new balance.
right, right,
And like I have some other stuff that I'm actually working on to like artware corp and just like making it more of an understanding that like these garments at the end of the day are like art because I'm printing them myself. So that's something I'm working on right now. But as far as like balancing it out, like like financially the the clothes is really um obviously making more money for me right now financially. So I try to focus and design like a few collections at a time
right, right, right,
and kind of put together release things. I might release something now, but then I'm already designing like two other drops.
right,
And
exactly.
like then on downtime, I'm working on music and stuff like that. Because for me, like when it comes to clothes and designing, like the inspiration is just constantly coming to me. I always have so many ideas, but like I'm only one person really. Like I do everything. I do the
Right, exactly.
the manufacturing of it, the photography and the social media. So it's like until like I know I could like incorporate more people to help, then it'll be easier for me as a producer too to work on music. And I have like a lot of dope ideas of how to merge both like in the future and like in some type of presentation.
Right, right, right. And getting back to the music, right? Drop the tape. Love is blind, right?
Yeah.
And what was the experience in kind of curating the songs that you kind of put together? 16 tracks, right? As a producer, right? What is the environment? What is the atmosphere like stepping into the industry music wise as a producer, right? Because me as a consumer, all I really listen to is just what's been put in front of me, right?
Mm.
But there obviously has to be some sort of, from my eyes, some sort of disadvantage maybe for producers because they don't have a vocal, or I don't know, like
Yeah.
what was it like as what's it like as a producer stepping out with an album?
Yeah. Um, for me, I felt like I have put out a couple EPs and they were kind of like just super DIY.
Right, right,
Mm, And I just wanted to put out like a body of work instead of just constantly putting out a small project. But really, like I was just inspired by everything that I typically listen to from just like house music, techno, and just even like I'm a piano and stuff like that. So
right,
I
right,
try
right,
to mix all those vibes together and just come up with a bunch of dope tracks and just pick the best ones really. But I also kind of wanted to make certain tracks too that just like sound like on some like alien shit too. Like
right,
I'm
right,
really
right.
into that stuff too. Like I know some people don't really care, but for me, I like to listen to ambient music too. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I'm sleeping or even when I'm designing. Um, I'm thinking about doing some shit like that too down the line, like some ambient stuff. But I don't know, like like realistically, like the instrument, like a synthesizer, is just like a super slept on instrument. Like, um, it's very futuristic if you really think about it in a literal sense. Like, it was an instrument that was created to basically use energy, so the power cable into your wall use energy to create sounds and frequency. And with those sounds, you can then manipulate them with the knobs, manipulate the frequency with the knobs and stuff. So I try to just make like sometimes just try to make some really like um out there kind of alien shit, honestly.
Nah, I mean, hey, that's what the industry needs. I saw this tweet the other day. I was like, listen, man, like back in the day, like people strove to be different because that was the goal, to be different. It seems like we're in a kind of a redundancy renaissance right now. Like a lot of people are just trying to do the same thing. There's a formula to success,
Uh,
if some
so,
it seems to speak. So, like you said, like right now there seems to be an explosion of uh dance music, right? Like we got in one side Beyonce and Drake doing the house music, and then I'm a piano, and then Bow making a big comeback right now, right? And then all these different flavors of music, as you said, inspiring you and making you who you are, kind of as the next generation of producers come out with this type of things, and obviously now fueling into the artwork, right? So what sort of things you just dropped? I believe the most recent drop, if I do my research correctly, was a tank top for women.
yeah.
For the women, or what is coming next? What is next on the pipeline
So
for Alphabet Studios?
yeah, that was something that I put. It was like a small collection of clothes where it was like this like tribal graphic that I played around with. I did
Right,
like some
right.
tees. I did two t-shirts in two different colors, and then I did a bunch of like tie-dyes that were all one of one, and then I did like a woman's top just because it was like the summer, and I do also want to eventually not only design like unisex stuff, but just like women's wear, like
Right, right.
uh, um I feel like at the end of the day, like the proportions and stuff have to be there, so that's things that I'm kind of working on, and just working on, yeah, just some women's wear things that like um fit a woman's proportion, right, and still feel like streetwear. And at the end of the day, and as a business move, like I personally feel like women buy more clothes than men, so
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
also a reason why I'm kind of dipping into it because there's a whole market of that. A lot of streetwear brands they just make straightforward like unisex stuff, and I kind of wanted to mix it up a little bit. And yeah, I'm definitely look into more like women tops and stuff like that. Gonna be working on other things, hopefully like skirts and stuff like that. But yeah,
No, that's dope. That's dope. And honestly, congratulations to all the stuff that you've already accomplished and all the stuff that you already been doing. Like I already know that the next steps after this are gonna be fire. So once again, I'm glad that we got to this interview to
I'm
speak to a
actually
lot about it.
putting out some clothes next weekend. I have like a drop that's coming out. Like three tees. There's a trucker hat and like this like bag that I made out of hoodies.
Okay, okay.
Use like the sleeves as like you could kind of tie it and adjust it. So it's like as like a dude, like you could have it be like adjusted a certain way, or as a woman, sometimes they want it real tight. So you could,
Right, 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 right.
yeah.
Nah, that's tough. That's tough. Okay, all right. I mean, sheets. I mean, I don't get paid till Friday, but damn, I mean, you might got me. You might got me there. So, but thank you once again, as I said, for coming in and talking to me, man. Like, do you have any last words for the audience, before we head out of here?
Um, yeah, man. I'm also just been having a lot of things in the works with my boy Dominic Lord. We have some stuff to work on the works for that with like overworld and stuff. So, but other than that, I appreciate just the interview and the opportunity. Definitely. Are you from DC?
I went to school in DC, then I graduated, but I'm from the city. I'm from New York.
Oh, okay, so you be in New York.
Yeah.
All
I'm from the
right,
Bronx
so
originally.
that's crazy. I actually was born in the Bronx. But you
Sir.
live out there? Where you be at?
Now, right now, believe it or not, I live in Vermont.
Oh, nice. That's dope.
No, it's not. It's a lot of white motherfuckers out here. But you know what I'm saying? I be chilling. I got my dog and I got my house, so I'll be chilling.
That's ill. Hey, that's
But
dope.
yeah, like I said, thank you once again for coming in and talking to me, brother. Like this was dope.
Right. Nah, for sure. Like I said, thank you for the opportunity, and hopefully, in a couple years we could do another one. Shit could,
Hey, it ain't gotta be a couple years. We could be whenever. You know what I'm saying? Once
nah,
I always tell
fuck.
people, once you get into the interview, you kicking on me forever. So I just gotta call you up now, just like Hot 97, and we get on the interview. You feel me?
Oh,
So. But of course, if you make it more calls, I'd love to wear it on the show as well. But that's obviously a off-brand conversation. But we
definitely.
could definitely stay connected, most
Yeah,
definitely.
we could definitely. You have my number, so we'll definitely
Of course, of
stay
course, of course,
connected.
of course. And thank you guys for another amazing episode of Kickin' with Kachi. You can check out my boy Josh at Josh_Zen 888 on Instagram. Check out the music at Josh Zen on all streaming platforms right now. Make sure you listen to that new music. Make sure you check out Alphabet Studios because that boy is rocking the fire drip for the new season. Make sure you guys cop. You can check out this interview at the DC Voice on Instagram and YouTube. Checking me out on Instagram at Koch.the_analyst as well. Thank you guys. It's Koch, and we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.